Hi there, it's so good to see you. Today I wanted to share a recipe with you on how to more easily receive. And this is a recipe that is near and dear to my heart because it is a method, it's a way of being that I am learning and that I am continuing to practice. And I wanted to begin to share it with you because I very much believe that it's going to be helpful for you to experience more flow, more abundance in your life, just as it's been helpful for me. Now, this recipe is multiple steps, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this recipe in a series of videos just to make it more easy to learn and to absorb and also to practice. So again, this recipe is on how to more easily receive. Why is this an important and significant recipe? Because we tend to be a culture of givers. We are more comfortable in the giving position where we are safe and where we feel and tend to feel more in control. Where the chance of being vulnerable and exposed is mitigated, right? And we're also quite cozy in kind of this make it happen mode, and that has certainly been my mode for the majority of my life. In fact, at the filming of this video, if you were to go on my website, currently under free tools, there's a series of worksheets that you can download that's called the Make It Happen series. I don't know that's quite in alignment with where my energy is at now, so eventually those will probably have to be changed, but I'm using them as an example simply to point out my own particular mindset, my own particular way of being and operating for the majority of my life. So again, I find that we're really quite cozy in this make it happen mode, and that most people believe that receiving and receiving abundance can only come about from being in control and from making what we want happen, right? So I'm learning though that this perspective is quite faulty. And so while there's nothing wrong with wanting and desiring stuff and things and experiences, because that's part of the human condition, I am also learning that we're generally a bit confused about what it is that we really want, what it is that our soul is really desiring, and how to go about receiving what we want, other than via hard work, which again has been my mode in life, has been my vehicle for receiving whatever it is that I have wanted. And I'm learning that there's an easier way to invite in, and there's an easier way to receive flow besides having to work hard for it, besides having like a chokehold on life, besides feeling like you need to wrestle life to the ground in order to get what you want, in order to be happy. And so I really want to again share this recipe that I'm currently practicing, and recording this video gives me an opportunity to deepen my understanding of this knowledge and deepen my knowledge of it, right? My experience with it. So I thank you for being here with me. And how to more easily receive. And so again, I'm going to share this in a series of videos, so not one video is too long. So where to begin with how to more easily receive, right? So the first step is always to set the intention, okay? Because I've talked about this in a prior video and in several prior videos, where our intention is the seed of new beginnings, because so it's always the start place, right? It's always the place to proceed from. And in this case, we want to set the intention to receive and to experience what we really want, what the soul really wants, which is the feelings of the experience of freedom, joy, and expansion, right? So we want to set the intention to more easily receive what we really want, which is freedom, joy, and expansion. So let me expand on that a little bit. We as humanity, we as a people can practice going a level deeper than our surface thoughts and lists about what it is that we want. And what every person, what every soul really wants below the stuff that we say that we want is the experience of freedom, joy, and expansion. So, often what we say that we want on the surface is actually quite irrelevant to my soul's desire for freedom, joy, and expansion. And so meaning it is entirely possible to have the experience, the feelings of freedom, joy, and expansion without acquiring everything on our wish list. Now, that's a bit of a separate recipe, but just kind of like let that idea sit and simmer with you, right? It's entirely possible to experience freedom, joy, and expansion without necessarily acquiring everything on our wish list. So I'll share more about that at a future date. So another title for this recipe could be, how could I easily receive freedom, joy, and expansion, right? And all the steps I'm going to share with you would be the same. So if I was going to offer a prayer to you, something to practice, a mantra, and when I say prayer, I mean that in a non-religious way. If you'd like to interpret it in a religious way, you're more than welcome to, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in a religious way. All the material that I present is really from mostly a spiritual context. So when I say prayer, I kind of mean it in a non-denominational way. So interpret it as you like. So if I was to offer a prayer, if I was to offer a mantra, it would be my intention, right? Because we're starting with intention, the seeds of new beginnings. My intention is to receive the freedom, joy, and expansion that is already mine. Thank you. And because remember, we're always saying thank you, right? Why do we say thank you? We say thank you because we want to thank the universe for what it is we already have, right? So we're not coming from a place of scarcity or lack. We're not even coming from a place of really wanting. We're coming from a place of saying, yes, thank you for what is already mine. Yeah? We're just kind of bringing our focus and our attention to it, away from all the other things we might be, confused, frustrated, worried, concerned, wanting, right? And we're putting our attention and focus over here. So yes, my intention is to experience the freedom, joy, and expansion that is already mine. Thank you. Okay, so that's the first step on how to more easily receive, which is to just begin with setting your intention, right, to experience what it is that you really want. And what the soul really wants, beyond the lists that we say we want, is the experience of freedom, joy, and expansion. Okay, so again, the prayer and the intention that you can use is thank you. You can even start with thank you. Thank you. My intention is to receive, right? My intention is to easily receive the freedom, joy, and expansion that is already mine. Okay, so you're just pointing the ship in the most accurate direction. And then step number 2, and then the other steps I'll continue in a different video, but step number 2 is to just relax. Just relax. And then a lot of people's next natural question, which actually was my next natural question, was, oh, relax. Okay, how do I relax? Well, how do I do that, right? And well, relax means just chill out, right? It's so funny how we can create a lot of work around relaxing. So my suggestion to you, as was suggested to me, was, okay, if you don't know exactly how to relax because you're so busy doing, which most of us are, the first step in relaxing is just to take a breath. Just take a breath, right? And if you're still frantic, then just take another breath. Nice deep breath. And as I give myself the oxygen, I'm pumping energy into my brain. I'm pumping kind of universal energy into myself. Right? I'm allowing my brain to physically relax. So when I'm distracted and I'm trying to figure out how to do relaxing, don't say any of those words. Don't use the words how to do, figure out, right? How to figure out how to do relaxing, right? Because none of those words are going to serve me in this case, because I just need to take a breath. And then just sit there or just stand there, right? And then feel the air going into your lungs and feel the air going into your brain. And just say, which we've talked about, and here it is again, just say thank you. Thank you for the air, and thank you for the oxygen that I have and that is given to me for free and that I don't even have to work hard for. Right? And people don't recognize that, and I didn't. We take it for granted. We take the air, we take our breath for granted so often. We don't recognize that this air, that this breath is a gift from the universe. So just start with receiving the breath, right? Just start with receiving the breath that you receive, that I receive every day, and we don't notice, right? And if we can appreciate the gift of the breath and just receive the gift of the breath, then we can begin to appreciate how to more easily receive in general. Okay? So these are the beginning steps, the beginning ingredients of this particular recipe about how to more easily receive. How to more easily receive basically anything, right? But the highest perspective of all, what is it that actually you're trying to receive, the soul is trying to receive beyond our lists of stuff? Well, we're just trying to receive, we're just trying to easily receive and experience the feelings of freedom, joy, and expansion. And so these are the beginning steps of how to make yourself available to receiving just that. Okay? I hope this is helpful to you, and I'll continue with the next steps in the next videos. And thank you for being here with me. It is such a blessing. Till next time.